All right, how you guys doing out there? This is Gab with Gab, and today we have a special guest, my buddy here, Stanley Staco. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I tell you, it's a wonderful finally being here. And the yeah we have.
Thank you, thank you. And before we all start, I want you guys, whenever you guys get done, I want you guys to subscribe to my channel, Gab with Gab. I want you guys to like and press the button, and just give me some love here.
That's right.
All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna get right into it. So you're the founder of Staco Communications.
I am. I am. Well, first before I start, I really want to give you some shout out. Because I tell you, when I met you, when we started talking about the podcast a couple of years ago, it feels like now. You kind of like me. You had a mission. You had a clear vision of what it should have been like. You're doing your thing, and this thing is picking up steam. So I really, it shows determination, and I'm proud.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
no, that's good stuff. And I tell you, and this is what really drive my passion and my mission. With doing Staco Communication, because when I started this whole thing, it kind of evolved from what it became. The initial thought was that I was out and about with my son. And I tell the story all the time.
Right, right.
A couple of summers ago, and I had this odd type of hobbies, listening to radio ham, listening to police cannons, to fire trucks, stuff like that. So in no matter where I'm at in my background, there's always some radio communication going on.
Oh yeah.
So one warm summer evening, there was a radio call in Boston for a guy running around with a machete.
Wow.
And I'm listening to it, and my son at that time, he was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
He thought he was listening to some kind of a show going on the radio of some sort. I'm like, no, this is real life.
Right.
There's a guy running around. He goes, oh my goodness, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Why don't you call our cousin who lives in that area and let him know about it?
Oh, okay.
So I end up calling him and say, hey, Andrew, where you at? He goes, I'm at the house. Why? He goes, all right, well, stay there. There's a guy running around with a machete in your neighborhood. So from that came the idea of, where if I had this information, could I then post it somewhere where people in those affected areas, could use it? And then slowly we begin, it first as a crime blog,
right?
And then slowly evolving. I was introduced to Twitter, and that was a good platform, just to put short pieces of information, and post that with there real quick, to get the maximum effect out of it. And from there, really involved into the Twitter account, where it is right now.
Right.
So basically, what we do, now I have, at the height of it, I had 12 volunteers. So now, it kind of varies, but now I got about 7 volunteers.
Okay.
On their times off, when they're available, they have the radio scanners going on at their house or wherever they are. And if they hear a call that a potential of public safety in it, they will post it on there, and our 1,000 subscribers will use that for their own self-awareness.
I get you.
Yeah,
so basically,
yeah,
you're helping out the newscasters and things like that, because like you said, like we talked about the other day, the news can't get everything.
Right.
So you being sort of a freelance guy, you can get this stuff on the side and just bring it out, whether it be through Twitter or through YouTube or something like that.
Right. Exactly.
I get what you're saying.
Using social media as a platform, as an avenue to just get the information out there. A lot of people don't make good decisions. Yeah. And there's also an element of awareness, that says, sometimes when you're walking around, people fall into a sense of calmness, that there's nothing going on, being comfortable, and for all they know, in their surrounding area, there's stuff happening. Or maybe there's a lot of crime going on and nobody talks about it.
Yep.
In the meantime, you got moms and wives that are getting, their sons and daughters are getting killed. So when that information is just ongoing, it's kind of an awareness, of a reminder. Hey, we have a gun problem, in this city or in this country, everywhere.
That's true.
And that's always in somebody's mind, because we're always pushing it out. Me along with a lot of people.
Yeah, and I'm the same way with my platform. I'll make sure I tell the truth, regardless what it is, and I'm bringing good news, and I'm bringing things that some people may have never heard before, or and want information about it. So I always use platforms like that and tell things like history or anything.
Yes.
And I like what you're doing, because you got the communication thing, and like you said, here in Boston, it's definitely a crime problem. And it's up to us to be like sort of crime stoppers.
Right.
You know, neighborhood crime stoppers,
Yes.
and making sure people are aware of what's going on in the neighborhood, and maybe even get together and try to stop some of it.
Right. I mean, there are. There are so many different programs. I mean, there's a wonderful programs out there. I mean, since I've been doing this, I've spoken to people. You know, there's a lot of homicide. Type where environments where people that have been victim of homicide. There's an outreach program with them that can go and meet up with these families.
Right.
And give them services. I mean, this is a lot of stuff that the government provide, like the district attorney would provide.
Oh, okay.
But also, you got a lot of volunteers, a lot of people in the private sector doing it. So there's really a lot of that stuff going on that because unfortunately, we haven't been victim of a crime, so we don't know what that's like. But that can from what I've seen, from where I stand, that just had a devastating effect on families for generations at a time.
So do you think Boston is doing what they need to do, or you think they need to do more? Are they doing enough to stop the crime or prevent things from happening in the city?
Well, I mean that's a good question, and I mean it appears from the outset that they're really doing the best they can. I mean, I know from listening to these officers, they're out on the street. They're doing their proactive work. There's a lot of intervention work going on. I mean, you got patrol cars going out with nurses. Doing intervention on the street, with kind of telling me, okay, this person doesn't need a prison cell. He needs services. He needs to go to the hospital.
Oh, okay. Just to interrupt. So that's something that they're doing that I didn't know.
Yeah.
So instead of they coming out trying to lock up people, they're trying to maybe rehabilitate them or put them where they need to go to the hospital or rehab place. Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Exactly.
I didn't know that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you'll go to a call, you'll go to a call and there'll be somebody running around. It could be with a weapon, or it could be they're running around with no clothes on.
That's true.
So this person just, you're just emotionally distressed. This person doesn't need right now is to be locked up somewhere. So, and I don't know if these people are psychiatrists, if they're nurses, but they're pairing up with the city and those guys and going out in tandem with them and addressing these type of things. So that's just one aspect of what they have.
Okay.
And also they also do a lot of fixed posts. They'll be posted up at corners, at hotbed corners.
Oh, really?
So that to be available and open to the public, and then that has, from what I can tell, that has a good effect on it. But just too many guns in the street, and too many bad actors. It's just an ongoing fight. It's an ongoing fight.
Yeah, and but the one thing that stands out with me with your program is you right there trying to get it started, trying to help.
Right.
And that's good because, like you said, not everybody can see what's going on.
No.
Now you can find. Now maybe you can shoot something or get a good beat on something that really happened, and maybe that needs to be shown. Well, hey, let's put this on WVB-TV or something like that.
Right.
And maybe that's something that they missed.
Well, I don't know if it's I mean, over the years, Boston Police has been great to us. Like they've invited me many times to headquarters. I've gone up and meet with the Commissioner Gross, with my volunteers. We've gone and visit the operations center where all the dispatchers sit, stuff like that.
Really?
When we talk to our volunteers, when we talk about the program, and people want to be part of it, it's sometimes it could get very, it's a very delicate, what you can post and what you can't post because, what I've found out over the years, like, if there are crimes in progress, if there's stuff happening in real time, and usually when we post the information out, we it's building with a delay on it, because most of the time we're listening to the web, we're listening to radio scanner on the web, so that already has at least 3 to 4 minutes delay on it.
Gotcha.
So it depends on what is going on. If it's something that's public safety related, we need to, people know, we'll tell them right away.
Right.
But if we think for 1 second that our information is gonna pose a safety concern to the officers going there or to the event itself, to the investigation, we will not post that. We will hold that up until it's completely clear. So as we evolve, we became more popular, more people listening to us. I really had to go back and create a module. It was like a training. So the guys coming in, I would sit down with them, tell them, hey, you know what? This is not a joke. We're not going there. We're not clowning around.
Right.
So this is, a lot of people rely on it. And so I've got friends that I work, that are working for the state, and for CDs.
Wow.
I mean, they use our information right there as part of their,
Really?
part of their dailies. The press.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
so-
Because a lot of things, they might not allow you to have, but
Right.
if you can have it on the side and have your own sources,
Right.
that's even better.
Yes,
And you can back
yes.
that up.
That's
Saying, where do you
right.
get that from, sir? I got that from Staco Communications. This is what they do. They've been doing it for a couple of years now,
Yeah.
and it's all relevant.
That's right. Right. People reach out to us directly with information also, and we always tell people, you know what? We are not the police. No, we are vigilantes.
Right.
We're just a medium. We're just an opportunity to, we're just transferring the information.
Gotcha.
We get from the source, we're just bringing it out to you. So we tell people, okay, if you guys want to report something, don't come to me about it.
Yeah.
Dial 911 or go to your police station,
I get you.
stuff like that. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So, do you have a website or something like that you can let the people know?
Well, not yet. Right now we basically on our Twitter account, which is Staco S at Staco S on Twitter. You can follow our information there, and we also have a premium page, which is Staco_S. Which is a paid membership premium. This is what we can do to kind of support our volunteers.
Okay.
A lot of them are young college students. Help them pay for their bills, or like on the weekends when they're working overnights for me.
Right.
They can buy pizza. So
they can eat now.
they can eat. They can keep their mind busy and their stomach busy. So that's another part that we're trying to. And now we've got some people that are really trying to push us to the next level with website, with information like that, with trying to make a business model out of it.
Right.
But I tell you, I'm not so much interested in, this is definitely not to make money.
Right.
So this is more like a public service that whatever I can do to make a difference in people's life, when it comes to gun violence and crime, stuff like that.
Yes, 'cause
So-
I definitely think we have a big problem with the gun violence and things like that.
Yeah,
Man. It's unreal. It's unreal.
We started rough. I tell you that Melania cast, I know we talked about that Melania cast
Oh
area.
my goodness.
That's, and the funny thing with that, it almost feels like it just happened overnight. One second, I mean, this is the way I travel through every single night to go home.
Wow.
And this used to be, the best part of my commute. And I go down the cast and I jump on the highway, boom.
Yeah.
Now I tell you, I'm concerned going through there. I'm nervous sometimes going through there because we've seen an increase. First you would have the guys, your window washers, things like that.
Yeah.
But now, when you go through there and you can see people, they're really in pain and they're very aggressive. So this is really a black eye in the cities, in the city that and I don't think they have a solution for that because it's been like that for a number of years now.
Yeah. Because I mean, I've been up here a little over 10 years myself, and to come off that highway into a big city like that, to see that's a big eyesore.
Yeah.
A big eyesore. If you trying to invite people in to the city, don't invite them to come that way because that's not a good look.
Yeah.
And like you said, and what you just said, they don't have a answer for that. I don't get it.
I don't think so. From what I've known, I know that there was a institution where, I mean, these are methadone dependent people that need help, and they used to have a place they used to go, and that place is then shut down, and these people just became displaced with nowhere to turn to, just but shelters. So, and I know this is, I mean, there's an election coming up in the city, and everybody's just talking about it. But and we've been lucky so far because it could have been worse. I mean, there are some crime happening there. I mean, actually, right before I talking to you, I kind of pull up some numbers. From what I see from that area, there's always been, hasn't been any shooting that I could tell.
Yep, I haven't heard anything as far as shootings over there
no.
either, or even like stabbings or raping and stuff like that. I haven't heard anything so far so good.
I mean, again, I could be wrong, but in 2020, I only could find 2 stabbing. Actually, every time there was stabbing, it's always been fatal stabbings.
Wow.
So there was, I saw 2 stabbing in August of 2020. There was a midnight stabbing, and the person was killed. And on July, at 7 in the morning, first thing in the morning, there was also another stabbing.
Wow.
Even the year before that, I didn't see nothing. But as you walk through there, or if you drive through there, you'll be amazed to see the amount of people, and you can tell these people they're very, you can tell they're very, they need services, and so the way they aggressively pinning the link, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised most stuff hasn't been happening over there, but
Yeah.
I mean it is flooded with police. The state police is there at night. A couple of cars.
Oh, so they are monitoring them.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Boston got 3-4 cars there, just stationed there on fixed post. Almost all the time. So that seems to have an effect on reducing crime there, reducing the violence there, but it is still happening.
Yeah, but I still think they should come up with a solution, because to keep them people there and put cops on post, that's not a solution.
No,
that's a band-aid.
Yeah, exactly.
Do something.
That's exactly
all this
right.
money that's getting that the city of Boston is getting, and you have that amount of homelessness, something got to be wrong. Something has to be wrong. So, and once again, that's what we're here for: awareness, and let people know, hey, they do have a problem here in the city of Boston. What can we do to help? And or if we can help at all. And I think as big as this city is, and as big as this country is, you should be to have a hold on to homelessness like that. That's ridiculous. But it's like that in every big city. Every state, you have a big population of homeless.
Yes. Actually, there's a tent city. I was surprised. Actually, I visited my son in L.A. A couple of months ago, and I've always talk about the tent city.
Yep.
That's right next to LAX. And actually, I drove to there. I was like, my goodness, why is it that in a modern American city, you can have that level, that amount of people, displaced.
Poverty, yeah.
Poverty.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Because I'm from Haiti, and when I go home, I mean, poverty is just all over the place, and but we have an economy and a political system that's almost inexistent, that's in shambles.
Right. So you can kind of understand that.
Right. It's like what's the government doing? Well, they can't even help themselves. But over here, this is number one democracy in the world.
Yeah, land of the free. And you still.
Right.
So once again, something is wrong, man. Something is wrong. But
people are a lot smarter than us.
Yeah. Maybe either they not smart or don't care to be smart.
Right.
If we can see it, and we just little people, and we see it as a problem. Something going on.
We're the common man on the street.
Exactly. And then it's and that's what gets me mad sometimes, because I look at the same thing that you look at. And I'm like, why can't I come up with a solution, but why can't they come up with a solution? They're actually people that can make a difference.
And there'll be, there are many, I mean, I try to stay away from the political talk, and there are many reasons why people say, they're not paying attention to this area because it's located in Roxbury. If it was somewhere else in a more affluent area of the city, they would have broomed them. But at the end of the day, it kind of feels like what happened. They kind of push them at the very edge of the city. Right there before the highway, right there, and but that amount of pain, you can't hide that stuff.
That's true.
Just like if you got that scab.
Yeah.
Although that probably but
I hear you, man.
You can put a bit on it, you can put a long shirt on it.
Right.
That's simple. You gotta take that thing off.
Well, I'm glad to have you on tonight, Staco.
Yeah,
man. I appreciate that. We've been trying to get it with each other, and we finally linked up.
That's right.
And
that's right.
As far as Staco Communications, man, you keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully you make a difference.
Yes, I'll try. But this summer, last summer the city was. I mean, it's studying. We've had some bad weekends. We had the weather hasn't been. When the weather's bad, that's kind of good for the city.
Right.
They kind of dampen people are more apt to stay home. And the COVID, over last year kind of helped. But this city studying. I mean, there's been a lot of shooting so far.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure right now we're up to 18 homicides in the city already for this year.
Yeah.
With 48 people shot. I mean, it's small, and you know what? It's all happening with the same small geographic area.
Yeah.
When you look at it, it's all Mattapan, Roxbury, Southie,
Dorchester.
It's all these stuff. So I mean, there's a when it goes up, when it starts, it starts. I mean, a lot of gun violence, a lot of guns on the street.
It is.
We're hearing shots fired. We're hearing shots spotted. Technology coming up and picking up 20 rounds from one shooter at a time.
Yeah, so that's another topic.
Right.
Gun violence. Another topic, man. Where are these guns coming from?
Yeah.
We'll leave that for another time.
Right.
But we're gonna wrap this up, Stanley.
Yes,
and I appreciate it. I'm glad you come on the show.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for having
we'll
me.
definitely do another segment.
Yes.
And once again, you guys, this is Uncle Yab, and we gabbing with Yab. Good night.
Good.